Hi guys, welcome to Ashish Academy. Now this time we are just going to cover that Israel-Hamas war impact on our job market and especially on IT and other sectors, right? So you already know that it is already going on more than 2 to 3 weeks are already has been done, right? And this war is going and keep on continuing more. So, what is the impact, right? So, there is a heavy impact on the global market. You have already seen it. Maybe you can see basically into a stock market, right? US, Nasdaq, maybe in Sensex, and there are other markets also heavily got impacted. And that the stock market is struggling a lot, right? So, it is directly impacting on this entire, what we can say, the economy, right? And there is a different sectors got impacted, correct? So companies which are already dealing with particularly directly with the Israeli government or directly with, you can say, any other industry which is directly correlated to maybe for Israel government IT sector, which is directly holding and particularly companies, right, which is having a major stakeholder from the government side or maybe got directly impacted from this war, and also this oil price. So this oil price is basically when this war is going on, you already know that Middle East major countries are also is against to this Israel, right? And they are also participating, taking much more interest in it, right? So because of this, the global economy is a high inflation again as a crude oil price rises, right? So because of, you already know that this majorly supplier of this crude oil is all these Middle East countries, right? And as oil prices goes high, the US, India, China, and other major nations also import oil may seem substantial import of inflation, because when you buy this oil onto higher prices, automatically this inflation will go high, correct? So these Middle East majorly countries are impacting majorly onto this oil prices rise, and increasing into oil prices, right, lead to a higher energy cost, affect the industry, and the potential leading to a job losses, particularly sector sensitive to oil prices and transportation and manufacturing, correct? Not directly, correct, but yes, indirectly at some certain level, right? Because of that, somewhere they need to manage the cost. Correct. Now there is another is defense and the economy. Yes, so India has a relationship, right, and also significant tie-up with the Israel. So for that, in this event or conflict or maybe this war situation, there may be an increase of demand of defense and security related industries, right? Here you can see little bit job growth, right, on maybe the companies who are supplying this kind of instruments, or maybe you can say suppliers, right? They can lead and they can gain some confidence, right? So economics uncertainty, right? Uncertainty, we already know that geopolitical tensions, basically it has already got built up, right? Now Russia and China has given many such statements. After that, they basically ready to support to Hamas, right? Hamas, their, what we can say, their foreign minister also had a already the discussion with the Russian ministries, like that. China is also ready to support. They are already set up their ships and everything, correct? So because of that, also it will impact to a major decisions, right? Investments and the hiring side. So it will slow down basically the job creations and the expansion plans. So people who wanted to take some decisions for expansions, maybe they will put on hold for some time to watch the market, watch the scenarios, right? Because this globally, this tension got built up, correct? So diplomatic and trade relations, right? So trade relation, diplomatic and trade relations between the countries can be influenced by the geopolitical events. So because of that, there is a so many, what we can say, boundaries also got impacted, right? Middle East major countries are basically participating. There are so many other, you can say, related to travel, tourism, visa, all other things are already got impacted, correct? And any deterioration of Indian relations with the countries involved in the conflict can affect the international trade and the commerce, especially with the Middle East. Maybe you can say UAE, or maybe there are other Arab countries, especially in these countries this travel, right, commerce, trade, or maybe what we can say any other expansion, or maybe any other decisions stakeholders wants to take or something like that, it will be getting impacted. Correct. And if the war goes on, then there will be also challenges, right? Because of some job, or also because of that internal, what we can say, uncertainty in the country, right? So especially people who are working into Middle East, right? So they need to be little cautious, right? And they need to watch that properly, this entire process and the event. Correct. So definitely, if you're talking about Israel, right? So as market and tourism sentiments we already discussed. So these sentiments are already impacting, right? Because global affect the investor and the consumer sentiments, right? The overall market conditions are not so good. Stock market is not so moving like this. Yes, here and there, US market is was already struggling because of that high interest rate and other reasons, right? And because of this war, as US is already supporting, has given a many such support to Israel, so that entire global, you can say, the tension is impacting to overall market scenarios. Correct. So because of that, investors and many such, what we can say, the people who are directly with the finance and so many things are already impacted. Correct. Tourism, people don't like to go with the tourism in that scenario. People who any tourism companies who are sponsoring the tourist visa, or maybe you can say a tourist planner, maybe who are supporting for flight tickets or other events like that, especially into Middle East, yes, it will be heavily got impacted. Apart from that, Israel, the people who are traveling for to an Israel or nearby countries, that is also impacted, right? And this slowdown of this job and market scenarios, right? And it will also impact to employment into hospitality and tourism sector. Correct. So because of that, if there is a people will put on hold because of this global tension. So in that scenario, how these companies who are working into hospitality and tourism will survive here? So there will be some challenges, right? The companies who are directly belongs to what we can say to Israel here. So here there will be a majorly and heavy impact, right? So they will not be going to support all other ongoing expansion support into a business, because entire Israel population is contributing to a war as of now, and they are still struggling for their people to getting safe from this Hamas people, right? So also here, innovation and technology side, India and Israel have a significant partnership, right? So in that, any changes or because of this war, right, international conflict, so it is also in directly influencing to a job opportunities, right? So companies where you have a major stakeholder is the Israel government, or companies belongs to directly Israel government, or any client who are supporting to Israel government based projects, they will completely got, you can say, postponed. The decisions will got postponed, hiring will also be got postponed. So there will not be any expansion investment plan in that scenario, right? So any other companies who are directly supporting as a technology wise, or maybe the companies who are supporting to any other, you can say, belongs to any other solutions, right? So they will also got impact if they directly belongs to Israel, or maybe companies who are supporting to any other, you can say, entities or Israel government too, like that. So here is also you will see there are a major challenges here. Correct. So globally, if there are some major, what we can say, players, either it is in US or India or other places, so they will be getting impacted because this business got impacted. So jobs will also got impacted for this, right? So these are the majorly scenarios, right? So technology wise, yes, IT technology, even though there are many such companies, IT companies belongs to what we can say, especially from the Israel, right? And so definitely IT market will be also getting impacted here. Apart from that, Middle East, most of the people are working into Middle East, right? So this is also going to getting impacted. Correct. Maybe travel, maybe for hiring, maybe for new project expansion and things like that. Correct. So this is, there are a majorly much more detailed job scenarios we will cover into a next video. So if you still like and taking much more interest in it, so you can be still be with us, right? And you can subscribe our channel. You will get much more detailed video for how, what are the companies are getting impacted, what are the major decisions big players has taken related to expansion, job hiring, and others.